Hello there and welcome to Wicks Way. And today we're taking Grandpa's car out for a nice Sunday stroll. Say hello to the 2017 Cadillac CT6 Platinum. And I know here at Wicks Way it's more of a performance car that we usually kind of review, all the AMGs and M's and SRTs, but this is amazing to drive. It's comfortable no matter what. This is a massive luxury sedan, even though when I say massive, it's still 2 inches smaller than a BMW 7 Series, but who really cares? It's a Caddy, it's Grandpa's Cadillac. And Grandpa's Cadillac isn't exactly slow. This is a 3-liter twin-turbo V6, and it produces 400 horsepower. Oh, and 0 to 60 is pretty quick as well. Even though this doesn't have launch control or anything like that, it will do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat. So let's go to mode, put it in sport, and just turn traction control off. Pull up the revs. And here we go. Oh, that's similar to like the Titanic hitting warp speed. That's not bad. Even the stopping power is pretty good too. It's 4-piston Brembo brakes. It has 4-wheel steering, it's got magnetic ride, and in the corners out here, it's holding its own a lot better than you could imagine. I mean, doing this in an old school Eldorado and you'd be dead, really dead. But this, it's pretty good. It doesn't have that much of a body roll. Of course there is some, but it's, for the size of this car, it's still kind of nimble in a way. It uses the brand new, actually this is the first chassis GM ever used, first Omega chassis. It's 2/3 aluminum, and then the last little bit of it is actually steel. And the way it's been constructed on top of the chassis and everything, the interior in here is quieter by about 4 or 5 decibels than a 7 Series and an S-Class. And I completely believe it. Every time I close the door, I have to pop my ears. The interior is really good. I love the Mercedes S-Class, but I don't love it as much as I love this. Cadillac Q system, the way they've got it set up in here as opposed to everything else, actually works pretty well. And is much easier to use. The stereo is amazing. I mean, the leather wrap dash, the wood grain, even has some small carbon fiber bits as well. And this is the Platinum, which is the highest trim level you can possibly get for the CT6. And everything feels put together with quality. I mean, ever since Cadillac left Detroit and went to New York, they keep getting better and better and better. It is a twin turbo. The lag really isn't that apparent. It's more not necessarily like turbo lag, but the 8-speed transmission trying to downshift for you. You could do paddle shifters, but just don't do paddle shifters in this one. Well, you can really put this thing kind of through its paces, and I mean, it even has a boost gauge, for crying out loud. I don't want to drive it like that. I want to drive it like how it's supposed to be driven. You know, slowly and cautiously and without a care in the world. I'll just relax a bit and enjoy the seating and the massage and the cooled seats. Even though I have all those creature comforts up here in the front, it's the back seats that really gets all the luxury out of this CT6. Now, Grandpa's not always going to be driving. Sometimes you will. And when you're driving him around, he's going to love it back here because there's articulated seating. And the massages. And you have heated and cooled seats. I mean, the only thing that's not power is this. Just the little sunshade on the side. But you also have TVs in the back. And just in case Grandpa's really into his marathon of Matlock and he's getting too much of a glare from the rear, problem solved. I'm not really sure if Grandpa should have this, or maybe I should, because I'm really enjoying this car a lot. So, pros and cons on the 2017 Cadillac CT6 Platinum all-wheel drive. Pro, this is a 7 Series killer in my book. BMW these days, it's just way overpriced. You're paying 20 grand over for a name. One thing I'm not very keen on about this CT6 is the rear view camera mirror. Flick that, and you can actually see live feed action of, well, whatever would be considered your rear view mirror. Now, I don't necessarily like that whenever the sun is hitting the back because it causes a glare. And so you end up having almost like a double vision in a way. So I usually turn it off, which you just bloop, and it's off. So that wraps up the review on the 2017 Cadillac CT6 Platinum all-wheel drive. Again, huge thank you to Crest Cadillac in Frisco, Texas, and a major thank you to Will Wagner, the salesman there, for letting this become a possibility. As always, like, share, subscribe, and all the usual things we ask you to do. Thanks, guys. Bye.